Hi everyone, welcome, welcome. You know where you are, right? The Fat Lady Knits. Please forgive the noise. We're having a windstorm and it's blowing everything, including the cover for the air conditioning. So if you hear any banging, that's what's going on. Okay? So, was that your sock I saw online last week? Oh my goodness, I said that. Listen, if you're a sock maker, please go online and look for Valerie Witherington. She just posted a sock with, the sock is beautiful. She loves color work. I have no patience for that. She loves color work. And here goes the wind. And she has a new heel. Oh my God. Well, according to her, she has double-digit new heels. But on this sock, you can clearly see she has a new heel. So you can see the other things you can do with your socks on a circular sock machine. As I said, color work is not my thing. I find it tedious. And the people I'm making socks for have no interest. They just want the colors they like. They just want a sock in the color they like. I think what I'm going to do though, I may have tried it before, I'm going to try it again. Send out a poll as to the different things that can be knit and see if anyone has an interest in something other than socks. Last time I tried, everyone was like, aren't you the sock maker? But I'm optimistic. Maybe somebody will want shawl. They don't do sweaters, but you never know. Somebody might want a vest. What else can you knit? Vest, shawl, sweater. Oh, that reminds me. If you have a CSM and you make sweaters, you do know you can use your CSM to make sleeves for your sweaters, right? And that it might be a lot easier and faster if it's a plain sleeve. We know when we start doing decorative things on the CSM, it's a lot of handwork, and sometimes you're better off doing that by hand. But you can, one day I have to do that, make a sleeve for something on the CSM so you can see. And what's on my table? Well, that's interesting. Remember this? I worked on it. See? And those two holes are now darned. I must say, I was pleasantly surprised when I went to the inside of the sock to see where it had been darned. See that? The hole appeared much smaller on the inside than the outside. So maybe I can now trim all these little dangly bits. See that? See, there's one up there. What I'm concerned about though, because I haven't cut off the threads because I don't know how to end it because I never read the book. I carried it with me all week, still didn't read the book. But in darning the sock, I'm not sure if it's me, but I know I follow, it's weaving, but it makes that area less stretchy. So I'm concerned for that. But you know what? I'm not going to worry about it. I'm just going to give it, I'm going to figure out how to do the ends, and I'm going to give it to the princess, and I will get feedback. Okay? So that's what I did. And I started, this time this is for me. I started, now that I can now that I can flick knit, I've started the cuff of a sock for me. It is nothing to look at now. It will be a lot easier. The light is in the way. No, I have to put it on this side for the camera to get it, but then the light is blowing it out. Okay, it's nothing to look at right now. What I'm doing is a ribbed cuff that slants, it moves sideways. Because I remembered On the knitting machine, when you want, let's say you're doing a scarf, the flatbed knitting machine, let's say you're doing a scarf and you want it to totally be on the diagonals, an entire bias scarf, you move the needle, the stitches one needle over. Okay, so if you want it to slant to the right, you move one needle over to the right. If you want to go back left, you move one needle over to the left, you knit your row or two, and then you move a stitch again. So I figured, why not try the same thing with a hand knit sock? And because this is 120 needles, and you see I'm working with 2 needles. Let me show you. See, I have got 2 points here and 2 points here. I find that much easier for me to work with. Sorry if the shine, the glare is blinding you, but I have 120 stitches, and I just work back and forth on the needles so that at the end of a row, all the stitches are on one needle, and then I start with the next needle, and then all the stitches end up on this needle. Right now I'm in between. Okay, so because I thought about it, and I'm like, we do rib stitches at the top all the time, but why can't we play with the rib stitches? And I also knew, I suffer from a lack of patience. So there was no way I was going to do this on the CSM. Okay, because I know me. I would get frustrated, tired, and bored, and I would stop. But doing this by hand, and I did this on the bus. So this was fun, okay? So I'm going to continue working on this. I heard that. Where's the blue one? That one is stripy. I don't do stripes. So it's still here somewhere. It is. It's here somewhere. And that was for someone else to test out. But this is for me. Which reminds me. You see this back here? I always had it filled with yarn, but I think I'm going to change up. I need to switch it up. Because I have so many things pending and things that are incomplete, I think what I'm going to do is put the projects that I'm working on in here. That way, it will shame me into finishing them, right? So that's what I'm going to do, because I think I'll dedicate one, and you probably won't even be able to see it because you don't see above here. Or maybe I'll put new yarns or different color yarns here to have something pretty. But these shelves, because look at all these echo printed blanks that I have to turn into socks. I need to put, so at least once a month I finish something from there. Now, so I showed you what I was working on. I did mending, I did knitting, and then what did I do? Oh, before we get to what did I do, let me tell you, I am so embarrassed. Okay, these, hold on, give me a second. I think these are not it. Remember, I just talked about Valerie Witherington? Since 2020, she sent me 2 patterns, right? This one is tailored gloves, and the other one, I think, is a resolable sock. I did not realize she meant for those of us she gave the pattern to test it out. I thought she was just being nice and giving out the pattern. And I'm like, no, 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 no. I want to support you. I want to buy your patterns. And I was sitting in the crank-in. And she was talking to someone. And she said, yes, all the patterns I gave to my test knitters, nobody did them. I was like, was I a test knitter? Oops. I probably missed that part of the email in which the pattern was enclosed, because I tend to be a skimmer rather than a reader. So now I have 2 projects I have to test knit. Oh my God, I don't know what to do, because she is brilliant. Her socks are off the hook with color work, you know, off the hook. and to be able to have a brain to be able to translate a hand knit pattern to the circular sock machine, especially all these different types of heels, and to invent heels. Oh my God. Okay. But I have to, this is a 2-page pattern. So you know it's probably should be a 6-page pattern. So I have my work cut out for me. And there's another one. I'll find it. We don't have to. I'll find it. Okay? Now. What else did I do? Remember, I've been talking about dyeing yarn and I couldn't remember how to dye yarn? Well. Haha. Voila. Isn't that orange blinding? But it is so gorgeous. And it came out even. Oh my God. Oh my God. I finally figured out how to use the Prochem dyes that I had. Because I was like, does it use citric acid? Does it not use citric acid? But I have different types of dyes. And so these took citric acid. And this one, please needles don't fall. I do not need to spend the night on the ground searching for double-pointed needles. You know what? As a matter of fact, let me move the tin. But this I love. It is gorgeous. That way, I was thinking I would have color so I could work my patterns. So when you saw them, you could actually see it instead of that blinding white. But this is kind of, I think this is for me. I'm sorry. Yes, they're not dry thoroughly. This part is dry. This part is wet. So the darkness that's showing here is because this yarn is still slightly damp. Okay, but I think this would make a fabulous sock. Look at that. Oh, ooh, yes. Oh, and I could even, over a sweatshirt, I could, oh, getting ideas. And then I did, oh, y'all know how I love this color. How do I show this to you? Oh, y'all know. Okay. Thank God I have a box full of yarn I can dye so I can get back to playing with color. And this one, I was trying to match the bag. But as you can see, well, it isn't completely dry, so I have to wait to see what it really looks like when it dries, because they're closer in color than what's showing on the camera, but I still think this is a little too dark. I need to make it a little lighter. And I know me, I get obsessed. After I'm done here, I might be at my dye station working on that color again. But, oh, bright, I love it, I love it, I love it. Okay? So this week, I had a choice, to knit or to dye, and I dyed. It was also kind of hard to knit because I hurt my hand twice this week. Don't ask, don't ask. Okay? Now this one, there's a story here. I have a dye called Autumn. And I've got to tell you, this particular dyeing is awful. Now, you see, it's awful. It's uneven. It'll make great socks, but if you were selling hand-dyed yarn or whatever, custom-dyed yarn or independent, whatever it's called, this would be in the 3/4 off price bin. What happened? I found a color called Autumn, and I tested it on a napkin, and it looked orange. I was like, well, I've just done orange by mixing red and yellow. Let's see this orange by itself. And then I said, nah, I don't want to do that. What I really want to do is make one of those, one of my multicolors. I pulled out my red, I pulled out my yellow, and I figured so far that's 3 colors, red, yellow, and when they mix, I would have orange. And then I pulled out the autumn, which is this color, and then I pulled out the hot pink, which is much lighter than this. To get this dark, I had to, I did 2 things. First, I glazed it in charcoal, and then I actually, yeah, hear the wind banging, making that metal bang. I glazed it, and then I actually put some of that charcoal in the dye pot so that it's not the bright color it was, it's now a darker hue. So I said, I've got all these colors, I haven't done this in a while, oh my God, let me do this. And so I pulled out my dyes, and I pulled out the tool from hell. If you have this, save it for your tea. Or I don't know, if you go to a church where they do holy water, you can give it to them. This thing was a disaster. You are supposed to be able, there's a lever here that turns and opens it. You're supposed to be able to put in your dye, turn the lever. Okay, so you open it, it opens up, see that? You turn the lever and you close it, okay? And then the dye would be in here, you'd go to what you're dyeing, you'd flip it over and sprinkle. It worked for the yellow. And then there must have been more yellow in there and I didn't realize, and I tipped it, I got a plop of yellow. I was using my ironing board as my table. I was like, oh no. I quickly moved this out of the way, and then I put in the autumn color, which is this color. And I did what I used my lever, I opened, I closed, I turned it over, and every bit of autumn just came gushing out. There was no sprinkling, and no. I had this big blob of autumn. So I said, well, let me see if I can, scrunch up the yarn and move it around. When I did that, it looked so bad. I was like, OMG. Any dye teacher I'd ever had would be like, I know you didn't learn that from me. So I said, okay, let me just, yes, it only has yellow on it, and it has some autumn in all the wrong places, too much in one spot. Let me just dye the entire thing this autumn color. What I did not realize is I did not have enough dye in the water. So it absorbed the dye in different hues in different places. Like I said, it would be great for socks, but this would be the 75% bin off at a yarn store. But as I said, I have a whole box. I think I have between 50 and 100, closer to 100 of the blank ones that I can dye. So that should be fun. And maybe I'll try doing light autumn this time. Okay, so, but I have to practice patience, patience, patience. No problem. So this was my knit and dye. It wasn't a knit or dye. This was my knit and dye week. And I'd forgotten how much fun it was to dye. Oh my goodness. So I am going to do more of this. I really want to work with these 2 colors because I love them. And I have my good old staple yellow, but I'm a little tired of yellow. But these 2, I'm not going to put them together. That's how I got that other thing. No. I'm good. I'm good. Gotta go, running out of time. Bye!